We're back. All right, what's up, everybody?
Stop it.
Come on, man. Come on.
Stop it.
It's Derek. That's Barrett. I'm Rob. Hi, everybody. Hanging out with you on this Monday. How about, believe it or not, Saturday we're into April. I know.
Wow.
I know.
Right. Yeah, that's right around the corner. I mean,
amazing
right around the corner.
So anyway, a couple things to hit here. So looking at the Eagles and looking at the ledger, if you will, and posing the question, are they better, worse, or the same? So let's go through it. Let's start with who they kept. Bradbury's back. Brandon Graham's back. Fletcher Cox is back. I'm going to put Slay in this category, even though he had a year left on his deal because they extended him. And there was the chance that he was going to go bye-bye. Okay. That's the headliners that they kept, right? Am I missing anybody?
No.
All right. So those guys are back. The big names that left: Hargrave, CJ GJ, TJ Edwards, Marcus Epps, Isaac Seumalo, Miles Sanders. I'll throw Dillard in there, and I'll throw Kaiser White in there.
Yep.
Any other names, big names?
You said TJ Edwards, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
No.
All right. So
but then the receiver from the Colts.
Pascal.
Zach
all right.
Pascal, yes.
All right. So you have those two sides of it. Now let's go to people they brought in, the additions that they made. They bring in Terrell Edmonds from the Steelers, Rashad Penny, Nicholas Morrow, the linebacker from the Bears, Greedy Williams, corner safety, Justin Evans, a safety as well. Any other significant additions?
That's the order of which I say is of importance in bringing people in. That's the order I would put them in right there.
All right. So when you take all of that in total on balance, are they better, worse, the same?
I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna go with the same. I think they stay status quo because they brought in some people that can help, and the guy that I would say Dillard. We don't have a replacement for Dillard. We don't have a replacement for CJ GJ.
Yep.
Whatever his name is. I forgot his name already. That's terrible, huh? Those are the two guys I would say we don't have a replacement for. Those two. Because, I mean, we don't have a backup swing tackle. Unless you say Driscoll. Driscoll's our backup swing tackle. But I think he's still in with as far as a guy to come in at the right guard position and compete for the white guard position. I think we'll be pretty strong at that position. We don't have swing tackle. But I'll say at the safety position, we upgraded at one safety with Terrell Edmonds. If you say he takes over Epps' spot, but I think he's more a CJ GJ guy anyways. So, I mean, to me, it's a toss-up. If you go CJ GJ for Terrell Edmonds, I'm going to say Terrell is the better player.
Really?
Yes, I'm going to say he's the better player.
Because he played the position longer.
He played the position longer, number one. He knows what he's doing. You know what? I'm going to tell you the truth. I think he ends up playing – I think CJ GJ ends up playing slot and not safety from this point on.
So you think he goes back to slot?
Yeah, he goes back to slot. He didn't really – see, people don't realize how – yes, he had 6 interceptions. We see the 6 interceptions. We thinking, all right, he's a game changer. But he was just starting to get where his run fits were in the defense, where he really fit in the defense.
Yeah.
He was very opportunistic. Yeah. Yes, he was. You know what I'm saying? He had some great plays in which he was there to make a play. Yes, he had 6 interceptions. But a lot of the time, he wasn't there for his run fits, and he ran the ball consistently. It wasn't just the guys up front. It was also where a safety is supposed to put their head in and sneak in. Edmonds is a real bona fide safety that's legitimate in his run fits, legitimate tackler, can cover. He's the total package in a safety. So if you put those two together right now at their career, he's the better safety. Period. In fact, I don't even think it's close.
Upside.
You got a consistent player. He'll be more along the lines of what you're going to get from a Malcolm Jenkins.
Okay.
You'll get him more production that's almost like a Malcolm Jenkins from him.
I guess where I'm at, I think they're a little worse. But we're still pretty early in the process. You lost 11 sacks with Hargrave. And I don't know right now if Jordan Davis and or Milton Williams, if you're asking him to do more, can do more. I don't know. It's really more of an unknown thing. It doesn't mean it can't happen, but I don't know Nakobe Dean and Morrow are going to be. And granted, Kaiser White turned out to be just kind of a guy, if we're being honest.
Who? Kaiser?
Ooh, yeah. How soon we forget.
He was okay.
Ooh.
I wasn't
Ooh.
really moved by him, tell you the truth. I like TJ Edwards. And I think he'll be missed. He's
definitely missed. He will definitely be. But we got somebody that potentially could play along the same lines, the same level as him. And Dean. Nakobe Dean is a really good player. And he'll be a really good player in the NFL. He was a great player in college. I still think he'll be a really good player at the NFL level. We just have to realize what he is. He's going to play at a high level, man. He's going to play at a high level, and I not to say that TJ Edwards can be just it's not like he's just we're saying he didn't, he wasn't great. He was good. But I think Dean could be just as good. Put it like that.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see. Like I just think generally you've taken a bit of a step back, but if you draft well and get impact draft players and these dudes can play who are already here, it's different. But as I sit here right now, I'm just on paper. I think you're a little less with losing, especially Hargrave and CJ. And here's the other thing. Can Rashad Penny stay healthy?
Oh, we're just talking about production, though. If we're talking about a production.
Yeah.
From a production standpoint, you don't think that Rashad Penny?
I think he has a higher upside than Sanders does.
Absolutely. I'm just, and I'm not saying this because they're gone now. This has nothing to do. I love the player.
Yeah.
TJ Edwards was my dude. I love the player. Sanders, his potential. We tended to talk a lot about potential until this year.
Yeah.
This year, he showed what potential meets hard work and being healthy equates to. He made it happen this year. A contract year, most NFL players do that. But when we talked about Miles Sanders in his 4 years here, we talked more about potential than anything. I think Rashad Penny being healthy is more than just potential. We're going to get proven product. We're going to have a definite commodity with his playing style and the way he is a player.
Because there's too many ifs and buts as we sit here today in late March, I have to put it in the category of I think this team is a little bit worse than it is better. And it starts with the revamped defensive coaching staff to me. We don't know if this size style of defense is conducive to getting the maximum effort out of these players that he's going to be working with. I always said that when Mike Tomlin gets rid of a defensive player, why? Because they take pride. They have for decades take pride in their defense in Pittsburgh. And when they identify you are a player that can help them be as good consistently as they want to be and help others around you, they don't get rid of you. They find a way. Obviously you can't keep everybody because you have so many contracts that come up at the same time. But when it comes to the defense, especially cornerbacks and DBs and linebackers, Pittsburgh doesn't just let you go for any reason, Will the two mesh? The new revamped coaching staff on the defense and the players that we'll be working with. Rashad Penny, there's no question about it. I think he's a tougher back than Miles Sanders, puts his foot in the ground, turns up, goes, breaks tackles, so on and so forth. But because we don't know if he can stay healthy, if there's a team that could keep him healthy, we have to say the Eagles, considering they had all 22 starters available for the Super Bowl, which is unheard of.
Right.
Even the players that were nicked up, they found a way to get them back in that lineup when it counted most. But because of Rashad Penny's history, I have to put him in that if category also. So because of that, we still need a safety also. And that's not to say Howie may not make another move before it's all said and done, because there's some interesting safeties out there.
Yeah, we're going to go through some of the best free agents.
But as we sit there right now, I said they're a little bit better or worse because it's such a big mystery in terms of how will it mesh moving forward.
See, this is the first time I may say I have to disagree with you on that one, because that's all we're looking at right now is potential.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
But when I look at the roster, just like what you say with Edmonds, I think the reason why they let him go, just from when me talking with my sources, when I talk to him, it's not like they didn't want to sign him back. They didn't sign him back because they're paying Minkah Fitzpatrick top money. I mean, top money. He's one of the highest paid safeties in the NFL right now. They just worked his deal out last year. I think he was just a casualty of the cap. Is the only reason why he's not there. That in which they have a guy that that played a lot too. DeMonte Kazee, remember him? Kazee he used to play corner, but they moved him to safety, and he played pretty well. And they also signed Patrick Peterson to their roster, so they had no more money in the secondary to give. That's the only reason why they didn't sign him back. They were going to sign him back, they just didn't have enough, just to sign him back. As for, the linebacker position, TJ Edwards, he left because he wanted to go home.
Absolutely.
Epps, I think Epps just wanted to sprout his wings. You know what I'm saying? He was tired of playing under the notion that, all right, he's a good player, but he can go somewhere and really, spread his wings and play now and be, rewarded for, what they deem as though he wasn't worth at the time. You know what I'm saying? So Reed Blankenship, he better be able to play. They put a lot of stake with him.
But that's an if. Yep. If. You know what I mean?
Right.
Marcus Epps saw the bright lights of Vegas. He's a young kid, saw the bright lights of Vegas, wanted to go to Vegas. I get that, but I'm just saying they still need a safety. We don't know for sure if Edmonds can come in here. Will Edmonds come in here and be CJ and wow us all, or will he be Kazir White, who we all raved about early in the season? And as Rob just said just a few moments ago, he turned out to be just a player. So we don't know in this system.
You're right.
We don't know.
I hope he didn't turn out like a Harris, because Harris came in here and played very average. I was like, damn, why did they let him go from Minnesota? I see why they let him and the boy. Remember the linebacker from Minnesota? He had me fooled, man.
Eric.
Eric Wilson.
Wilson.
He got to talk about some,
he couldn't play a little bit.
I mean, hey, I changed my diet. I became a vegan.
Okay.
I'm all eating all plant based, and I'm taking ninjutsu and samurai swords playing.
Mediterranean diet.
I'm like, what? I said, bruh, the way you playing, you better go back to eating beef. I mean, whatever you need to, change in your diet, bring it back, because you played horribly.
And let's face it, a lot of players are system players. They excel in one system and flounder in another system. And that's why I said, I don't know. We don't know what Deshaun Desai's system is and how he's going to integrate.
That's the biggest thing right there.
Yeah.
You're right. That's the biggest thing right there.
Know.
I mean, hey, all I'm going to say is this. Please, Robert, don't get him out of here. Robert will get you out of here.
Who am I not getting out of here?
Desai.
Oh, Desai. No, I have an open mind. Look, I try to keep Gannon here. I'm not. Nobody else wanted him. No, but let me ask you guys this: as we see, I know we got a long way to go here. I don't think that Blankenship's going to be one of the starting safeties. I think he's going to be a depth special teamer. I think there's going to be another safety addition, some way, shape, or form. I feel like it's going to be Edmonds and somebody else. starting.
But everybody's screaming. Everybody's screaming. You know, Reed Blankenship this, Reed Blankenship that. I mean, he played all right. You know what I'm saying? But it was a lot of things they couldn't run because he was there, and people don't understand that. You know, they had to, you know, they had to dumb down a lot of stuff. You know, because he's a rookie. You know what I'm saying? He didn't really understand what he was doing out there. You know, that's a lot of the times what happened. You know, even in the Dallas game. You know, when you have young guys out there, you can't really put them in the positions where you're asking to play in a system in which, you know, you got to know this to combat that. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened with the 3rd and 30. You had, you know, young guy playing safety out there, supposed to be a cornerback, and he didn't play the deep third, and you know, then you have a veteran corner, you know, sitting down. You're not supposed to be sitting down. You're supposed to be, you know, hauling ass, you know, following the guy. You know, those things happen. But I mean, I think everybody's stuck on Reed being a starter.
Maybe he'll emerge by the time training camp is all said and done.
Yeah, I don't know.
So.
I mean, but Derrick, where do you fall on this? So you think they're the same, they're worse, they're better?
You said better.
No, you.
Who, me?
You, Derrick, yeah.
Oh, I said I think they're a little worse right now because of all the ifs and buts that we've just gone over. There's so many gray areas in terms of what are we getting in his revamped coaching staff? How will these pieces be integrated into, and I'm hoping Sean Desai has a scheme and not a philosophy like his predecessor had. Okay. We don't know. We have no idea. It could be better than what Gannon had. It could be worse. We've seen that happen. New guy comes in, what you had is worse than what you put on the field the previous season. I can't sit here and say they're better. Their linebacking situation is a big question mark. Nakobe Dean, I agree. Potential. Jordan Davis, I agree. Potential. But you've got to step up and replace Javon Hargrave, who gave you exceptional play. You know, you've got to step up as a linebacker and replace what T.J. Edwards contributed in terms of being the brains of that machine working on defense. Okay. The potential is great. Now you got to do it. Yeah. And let's face it, we see a lot of players that make that transition from the college ranks, being all pro, all Americans and stuff in college, and don't equal that in the pros. It's based on who you're playing under. And you know what? I don't know enough about Desai to say that he's the guy. I don't know. I hope I know about a mid-season.
Well, let me ask you, Rob, this. Can I ask you guys this question?
Yeah.
With who they have out there on the field right now, the players, not the system, the players, do you think they could field a competitive defense?
Absolutely.
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely competitive defense. I think they can field a good, solid defense. I think they're definitely going to be carried by their offense more than their defense, but I think they can be. I mean, you still have a good pass rush, even though you lost Hargrave. You still have a good pass rush. I think your corners are still really good. I mean, there's no denying that. I think you're, and that includes your slot corner and Devontae Maddox, depending on what happens there, where he plays. But I think, you know, they've made themselves better at safety than they were a week ago with the Edmonds edition. Yeah, I think it's a solid defense. It went from being at times a dominating defense last year. I don't know that you're going to be able to get back to that level, but I think pretty good.
If they don't add another free agent, I think with the personnel that we're looking at on this roster right now will be at least a top 15 defense overall and top 10 in QB sacks overall now.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at like Tyler with a Bolich, Bolich, in the stream. He said, "Hey Rob, what about drafting Brian Branch from Alabama? If you want a CJGJ, you're going in the right direction with him."
I like Brian Branch.
Yeah. Me too.
A lot.
You know, but is he around there? He's a second round guy.
I mean, is he here? Here's where he could be a candidate. I think if you trade down out of that 30 spot and grab him wherever you end up, maybe.
Yep, absolutely.
And if you have a dominant offense, you don't need. History has shown you don't need a dominant defense to get to the big show. If you go back and look over the last 10, 15 years of teams that have gotten to the Super Bowl, they all didn't have dominant defenses, but they had electric offenses.
Right.
You know, that narrative has changed that, you know, offenses get you in the headlines of defenses win you championships. Defense, if you play consistently okay, but you have a top flight offense, you can get to the Super Bowl. We've seen that happen time and time again. So with this, that's why I said with this personnel we have on paper right now for the Eagles, if they can just hold it down, if they can just hold it down and get strategic key stops, whether it's third and short, interception, pass batted down, and let the offense take the field and do their thing, they will win more games than they will lose. But the level of competition they have to navigate through in 2023 is stiffer than what they had to go through in 2022.
Yeah, they're the other things, regardless of roster, is the schedule is going to be harder.
Yep.
Generally, I think not that they didn't sneak up on anybody necessarily, but you're really going to be hunting it this year. You're the champion of your conference, so you're going to be the bullseye team every single week. So, and the division's pretty good. You know, you don't have any layups in the division. Washington, New York, Dallas, you don't get any breaks. You know, you're not playing in one of these other garbage divisions where you have a couple automatic wins. Nothing's automatic with this.
There it is right there. Nothing's automatic. And with the NFC being what it is, and you have the best quarterback, you know, just things just look good for you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Things definitely look good for you. You know, you're in a position where it's a good thing you're on the NFC side because it's a much, much easier road trying to tread through those waters than to tread through the AFC. Put it like that.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. And look, with these owners meetings, that's typically when there's some conversations had, whether that's draft night trades, you know, like AJ Brown last year, or whether that's, you know, moving up, down from the draft. You know, potentially a trade. There's a lot of different things that could happen, but this is the sort of germ where a lot of this comes from, is this week where they are in Arizona right now having the meeting. So be interesting to see what ends up happening here. Even if it's something we don't know about right now, draft's not that far away.
Nope.
Like I said, we're almost in April. So you're talking about a month away ish,
right?
You know, give or take. So we're pretty close, you know, that's for sure. And look, I think the other thing, one of the advantages you have with this Eagles team is from a continuity and a talent standpoint, offensively, you're going to be nasty. You're bringing back, you know, Brian Johnson sticks around, so you're elevating him, but a guy who's already been in the system. And you have Jalen Hurts, and you have, if Rashad Penny stays healthy, you know, a running back who's going to get you 5 yards per carry with great receivers and a great tight end. And your offensive line, for the most part, came back intact. So you're all good things. These are all really good things. And in that league, you better be able to score, period. Like yes, defense is great, but you better be able to score.
Oh, there's no question about it. This offense can accidentally score 28 points a game. They accidentally score 28 to 30 points a game. That will get them more W's than L's. You know, will they win 14 games again this year? I don't know with this schedule, but they should still be right there in that division. As close as that division, the other three teams are slowly creeping up on them.
Yeah.
As close as that division will be, they still have the overall better talent that should walk away with the division title and break that drought of no NFC East team winning back-to-back division titles over the last decade plus.
Yep.
So I feel confident about where they are right now structurally, but there have been so many changes to it, especially on defense. It's going to be interesting to see how quickly it can come together, how well the defense can complement that offense.
Yep.
Well, I'm just gonna give you my top five. You know, you guys can give later after we come back from break. But my top five needs for the Eagles right now: number one, inside linebacker.
Yep.
Number two, safety.
Yep.
Number three, swing tackle. No, number three, third wide receiver.
That's a great list. Hard to
argue.
Sorry.
One more. And then swing tackles number 4. And number 5, we need a damn punter.
Yes. We haven't talked about that at all. Yes.
Right.
And I don't know, like, I almost rather they go like the veteran punter route than some free agent signee rookie or something like that. I'm nervous about that.
You want to sign a guy like this with money.
Yeah, I don't want to go through this again. Like if I could square up my punt game, I already know my kicker's good. You know, that like they got away with a lot of stuff during the regular season. They did. They got away with a bad punter and for the most part a bad return game.
Absolutely.
Most of the year.
Yep.
And it bit him in the biggest game. Crappy punt, awful coverage on it. you know, and the returns were okay. Actually, what's his name? Covey had an okay return in the Super Bowl. But anyway, you can upgrade all those positions. Okay, you can do way better at punt returner, way better at punter, and your coverage units have to be way better.
Well, not to burst your hopeful bubble, but I'm looking at the list of free agent punters right now. You have Andy Lee of the Cardinal, who's 41. Do you want him?
No.
You have Thomas Morstead of the Dolphins, who's 37. Brett Kern was 37. Okay.
I know to that.
Okay. You have the Patriots, Michael Pallardy. He's 31. And then you have Matt Hawk of the Colts, who's 29. Those are the veteran punters who are free agents right now. None of them on this list really make me jump for joy. So where are you going to get them? A guy who's been sitting home for a couple of years waiting for his next shot in the NFL, college ranks? Where are you going to get them from?
I don't know. Yeah.
I'm sorry to burst you guys' bubble, but I've seen everybody just forgot about the woes we had with that.
Yeah, no, it's real. It's very
just
real.
Just keep sucking.
No. No, we're not doing that. Sippos. Yeah.
Sippos.
Suck up, Sippos, whatever the heck his name is.
Probably be better off nickname Suck Up.
Well, suck up. Because he had to suck up to somebody to keep that job.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
you know what? I don't know what I want. I don't know if I want one of those freaking washed up guys, or I don't know what I want at this point. I want somebody else.
Draft a young leg. If you don't get it, if you don't get any more draft picks, can you afford to use one of your 6 picks to draft a punter?
No. But here's what's going to be interesting. And I'm not saying this for the Eagles, but it's going to be interesting. The murder leg guy, the Arizona, remember his San Diego State guy? Remember him?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's out there.
You know, I don't know what went down, but I know he wasn't proven guilty. I'm just telling you, someone's going to sign that dude because he can punt. So I don't know.
That sounds like a Howie Roseman punt. Yeah, that sounds like a Howie Roseman signing.
So yeah, our locker room could take that.
Yeah, so just keep that guy in mind, Azaria. Keep that in mind. We'll see what happens there. All right, let's come back. We'll continue with the Eagles talk, and we'll dip into some Phillies too, as they are really close, guys. Only a few more exhibition games. They've made some decisions on the roster. Aaron Nola negotiation talks have broken off. So there's definitely some Philly stuff going on. We've got a huge Sixers game tonight. Sixers Nuggets, Embiid against the Joker, and some Embiid comments too that maybe he's running out of gas a little bit is concerning. So we'll do all that when we come back. Don't go anywhere. Derek, Barrett, Rob, Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network on this beautiful Monday. Let's talk about Jim Murray and Principal Financial Group, because guess what? Knowing who to trust with your finances is huge. You work way too hard not to set yourself and your family up, down the line. And they can be in real time as well. But I can tell you from personal experience that Jim Murray and Principal Financial Group, they are people that I trust. Whether it's retirement planning, 401k review, insurance review, you might have a small business, you're trying to get your employee benefits set up. It's another resource that Jim can help you with. I know personally, I've entrusted my IRA, my 401k rollovers with Jim, and it was seamless. It really was. I couldn't be any happier. Give him a call, 610-996-4751, 610-996-4751. Or you can try him via email, Murray, MURRAY.Jim@principal.com. That's Murray.